Hello, Cules. What if we started this crazy Saturday with news that both breaks our hearts and puts a smirk on our faces? Picture this. Camp Nou, that sacred temple we've missed like an old friend who went on Erasmus and never came back, finally seems ready to roar again. But then, the Barcelona City Council, in a twist worthy of a South American telenovela, says, "No way, there are security irregularities that don't add up." And boom, Barça, this sleeping giant that has just woken up with Hansi Flick at the helm, is not only dominating La Liga with breathtaking goals and plays, but is also categorically refusing to play against Real Sociedad in the stadium imposed on them. Can you imagine? The team that has been dominating La Liga for months as if it were a stroll down Los Ramblas suddenly says, "No, thanks, we play on our terms or not at all." It's a scandal that reeks of gunpowder, politics mixed with football, and that Cule passion that doesn't even bow to a mayor rushed by festivities. But let's take it step by step, because this isn't just a postponed match, it's a declaration of war against the system. And I'll tell you everything from the first minute with that touch of humor that saves us from the gray days. Because if we don't laugh a little at the absurd, what's left for us? It all started a few weeks ago when Barça, under Flick's baton, began devouring opponents like snacks at a neighborhood party. Remember the match against Real Madrid in the Clásico? That 3-2 that left us all glued to our couches, screaming like madmen, while YAMAL danced down the wing and Lewandowski scored the goal that sealed the title. Flick, that serious German who looks like he stepped out of a spy movie, has turned the team into a machine. Solid defense with Kound and Araujo as walls. A midfield that runs more than a lost tourist in the Gothic Quarter. And up front, Olmo and Rafinha delivering passes worthy of ballet choreography. La Liga, already trembling at Barca's return, watches the team string together victories. 4-0 against Villarreal, 2-1 against Atletico in a derby that smelled like revenge. Not to mention the thrashing of Sevilla, where Pedri orchestrated everything like an opera conductor. Unbeaten at home, leaders in the standings with a lead that makes even the Madridistas look away. And suddenly, fate plays a dirty trick with the stadium. Camp Nou, Cules, is not just a stadium. It's our home, our pride, the place where Messi lifted Copa del Rey trophies, where generations of kids dreamed of becoming Xavi and Iniesta. The renovation work has been a nightmare. Delays due to the pandemic, budgets ballooning like a San Fermin float. And now, just as the team is in top form, the city council drops the bomb. A meeting on Tuesday afternoon, as if it were a condo meeting discussing how to split the fries. No occupancy license. They say the emergency exits aren't up to code, that the fire safety system is a bad joke. Seriously? After millions invested and the stadium almost ready for the party? The council, with that bureaucratic coldness that drives us crazy, argues they can't risk lives. But between the lines, you can smell the politics. Municipal elections are approaching, the PSC wants to woo the environmentalists protesting the environmental impact, and Barça, a club for all, but with independentist DNA, clashes with the government. It's like your landlord telling you, "Your apartment is great, but I won't let you in until you paint the walls pink." Absurd, frustrating, and a little comical, if it weren't for the fact that it affects all of us. And then, Barça blows up La Liga. That moment when the club says, "Enough." The match against Real Sociedad is scheduled for this Sunday, match day 12 or 13, whatever. The fact is, it's crucial. The Churi Erden are sixth, with Imanol Alguacil having built a team that bites like a German shepherd. A Cule victory would bring Champions League qualification closer. But without Camp Nou, La Liga offers Montjuic, the Olympic Stadium, that temporary colossus used since 2023, but which already tires us like chewed gum. Why is this blowing up? Because it coincides with the Merce fireworks, Barcelona's big festival. Kickoff at 6:30 p.m., fireworks at 10 p.m. Streets packed with drunk tourists, families with kids, traffic jammed like rush hour on diagonal. Add the noise of firecrackers drowning out the Barça chants. The club sees it clearly. It's dangerous, a logistical nightmare that could end in a stampede or push fans to climb trees to see the match. So, in an official statement that set social media ablaze, Barça stands firm, "We won't play under these conditions. We demand Camp Nou. No postponement." Bam. La Liga is in shock, phones are ringing off the hook, Cules are divided between those applauding the firmness and those fearing sanctions or lost points. And that's when the drama gets even juicier. Because behind the scenes, rumors are flying. Some say Joan Laporta, the charismatic president always ready to start a fire to defend the club, personally threatened to pull the team from the championship if La Liga and the city council don't back down. Others claim Flick, ever calm, told his players, "Stay united, don't let politics divide us." Imagine the atmosphere at Ciutat Esportiva. The youth from La Masia wondering where they'll play, veterans like Lewandowski shrugging, "He's seen worse in the Bundesliga," and fans flooding Twitter with memes, comparing Barcelona's mayor to a Madrid referee paid by Florentino Perez. What's certain is that Barça didn't need this. Sportingly, everything was rolling. Flick had found his balance. Smart rotation, young players integrated without pressure, results silencing the critics. But now the pitch is disappearing, literally. Like a musician having to play a concert without a stage. And in all this chaos, Real Sociedad is rubbing its hands. The Basques know a distracted Barça is an opportunity. Coach Alguacil reportedly said in private, "Let them play wherever they want, on the beach or in the street, we'll come to win." A subtle jab that adds even more fuel to the fire. La Liga, meanwhile, is trapped. Javier Tebas, the league president, sees his flagship product threatened. TV broadcasters demand a match, not a strike. Sponsors are worried. Lawyers are already pulling out contracts. If Barça doesn't play, who foot the bill? The penalties would run into millions. And Laporta, confident, replies, "Our dignity is priceless." In Barcelona's bars, it's madness. Between beers, Cules debate as if they were all strategists. "Better to lose 3 points than lose our home," says one. "No, we'll get sanctioned," replies another. The debates rage hotter than churros in boiling oil. And then there's the symbolism. Refusing Montjuic isn't just refusing a stadium. It's asserting that Barça isn't a guest, but a master in its own home. That this club belongs to the people, not the institutions. That you don't move a giant as if it were a traveling circus. Catalan newspapers headline, "El Barça planta cara, un pulso histórico." The Madrid press, meanwhile, rejoices, more proof that this club lives in chaos. And all the while, Flick prepares his team as if nothing is happening. Because for him, whether you play on grass, concrete, or sand, a match is a match. And he wants to win. So, what's going to happen? 3 scenarios are emerging, each with explosive consequences. The city council backs down and grants permission to use Camp Nou, even temporarily. In this case, Barça emerges victorious, Laporta triumphs, and the fans celebrate a political victory as big as a title. But beware, it would come at the cost of an endless legal battle over the work and safety. The match is played at Montjuic, under protest. Barça reluctantly accepts, but the fans boycott, the atmosphere is icy, and the rift between the club and the city council becomes a chasm. Sportingly, it could weigh heavily. Playing without the roar of Camp Nou is like fighting without a sword. Barça outright refuses to play. The most radical scenario. La Liga imposes sanctions, points are deducted, the media goes wild, and Barça becomes both martyr and rebel. A gesture that would go down in history, but whose price could be a lost Liga. And you, Cules, what do you think? Should we grit our teeth and play where we're told, or should we pound our fists and remind the world that Barça isn't just any club? One thing is certain, this Saturday, we're not just talking about football. We're talking about identity, pride, and resistance. Camp Nou isn't just a stadium, it's a symbol. And when you touch our symbols, we, the Cules, transform. So stay tuned, because history is being written live. And who knows? Maybe in a few years, we'll remember this day not as the one when a match was cancelled, but as the one when Barça loudly declared, "We are not just any club, we are more than that."